Good morning, Lifeboat. You're on the YouTube. Well, good morning, YouTube. You're on the Lifeboat. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. How is everybody this morning? Oh, let's get some light in here. I bet you guys think I just come in here, sit down, and press the button, and then realize that all my stuff's not right. That's not the case. I'm sitting here staring at not my stuff being wrong, but the wall, trying to gather my faculties. So I do rush into it, though. I should have the light on and all that. Anyways, Shannon Smith, good morning. I live for now. Martha Hornbostel, Roberta, Candy's Life, Jason P. Good morning, good sir. How you guys doing? Otter Dancer, Audrey the Sassy Parisian. Welcome in. I'm glad you guys are here. Body Illusion, always a pleasure. Scrolling. I know there's more people here. I saw them. Jane Aldrich, good morning. Kathy Kewen, hello. Welcome in. Alrighty then. Yeah, we're going to talk about willingness. The will to recover, some might say. Miss Sunrise Dawn, Dale Cox, Jason P., Blessed to Crochet, Aaron Cooper, Scooby Lee, Kevin Hawthorne. What's going on, y'all? Y'all? Heck yeah, guys. Yeah, willingness. How bad do you want it? That's the question. How bad do you want it? Are you willing? Because I can desire recovery all day. I can desire joy and happiness. I can desire a better life all day long. But am I willing to chase it? Am I willing to go after it? Am I willing to put in the work? Am I willing to turn that desire into action? I think that the difference between desire and willingness is the action portion. Willingness implies that you're going to do it. Desire just says that I want, which is good. You need the desire, right? You need some passion, some desire. You need to have something to reach for, right? But at the same time, you have to be willing to go reach for it. You have to be willing to go after it. Imagine the veracity with which that we chase down our addictions in the past, or whatever we're talking about, right? Whether it be overeating or what have you. Imagine the lengths we would go to serve that side of ourselves. Now, if we could chase down recovery with that sort of willingness, I think that we're going to be successful, and that's the key. That's the topic today. What is this? I don't like this. Okay. That is the topic today. The topic today is about willingness, and I will say this is a marathon. You're going to be working on this little by little for a while. You're not going to get to a destination and then everything's going to be okay. That's not how things work. This is something you're going to have to assert your dominance over throughout your life. It's a lesson that's going to keep coming back. It's going to keep spiraling back and make you prove that you learned it for real. That's just how these things work. That's kind of how recovery goes. If there's anything that we can learn from history, at least, right? So that being said, you have to stay willing. There's no plateau you're going to get to where you're going to be all right. I mean, you're going to be all right. But there's not going to be there's no safe zone, right? I'm not going to reach a plateau and then get to stop doing the work. That's not how it works, right? We have to maintain willingness. Not only find willingness, but then harness it continuously. I think this is one of my favorite shirt beanie combos. I look like Christmas. It's pretty great. Debbie P, good morning. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. Hope you're doing a little better. Carry on. Hello. I'm going to do some reading. I'll get back in to the topic at hand. Brianna Miller, hello. Audrey, looking great in green. I tell you what. You know, guys, I'm really happy I'm not a game streamer. I don't know how proud I would be of that if that was the case. But I tell you what, I'm exceptionally proud to be the captain of the lifeboat. So, yeah, there's that. That was on my mind. Flick Fox, hello, hello. Charlie Mullins. I think Dale said something to me. Izzy E, what's going on? Where's that Dale comment? Let's find it. Out of all the new additions to the boat, I obviously you're all amazing, but I really like Dale. Dale Cox is the man. We get along. I'm a fan. You know what? We can. I have a dentist appointment at the end of the week, and there's still a hole in there. I feel like I should put it off just a little longer, if you'll allow it, Dale. I would like it, but we can if it's necessary. I would. I think that I'll be pushing it if I do, but your call, man. Let me know. Scooby Lee says, I may self medicate, but I do so in a healthy manner, whereas I know people who overdo it. And we're a harm reduction channel. We're not about abstinence. I mean, obviously, that's probably the best for you, right? But I'm not going to get my undies in a wad because, you're not abstinent. You feel me? Like wherever you are and you show up to the boat, that's how I want you. I want you to come as you are. You know what I mean? Like that Nirvana song. Come as you are, and little by little, maybe we'll chip away at whatever you got going on, right? And if not, so be it. I'm not gonna get rid of you for failing either. You know what I mean? So yeah, whatever you got going on, bring it to the table. All are welcome here. And Scooby Lee has quite the tenure here on the boat. We are stoked to have her. We're blessed. I used to smoke to help me eat. I have to say, it sometimes worked really well, but sometimes it wouldn't. Sometimes weed would like not make me hungry, which is strange, right? But my body's weird. My mental has a large effect on my appetite, I think. I would wager, be willing to wager. Do some for both of us. Thanks. Thanks, Dale. I promise when we do it though, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be great. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Um, I just don't want to. I don't want to have a bad time. Nicola E, what's going on? Well, Shannon, I'm talking about smoking pot, not nicotine. You are right though. Smoking cigarettes will definitely cut your weight down. Um, and it's interesting when you quit smoking, you most likely will gain a little bit, which is interesting as well. But yeah, the weed and cigarettes, pardon me, weed and my appetite have a large relationship with each other. They affect each other very much. And usually, you hear about weed and the munchies, but that does not always happen to me. And I could never, over all the time that I spent a lot of time smoking weed. I could never figure out if it was the difference in strain, the difference in how I'm feeling that day, difference in the amount that I'm smoking, the method of intake. I couldn't nail down any common denominators on like why it makes me hungry sometimes and other times it doesn't. But sometimes it made me starving, which was always good. If I could nail that down, I may like that. That would be a good reason for me to start smoking. I think. Not that I'm looking for a reason to start smoking. I'm pretty stoked on my clear headedness. I'm pretty stoked on this new me that I have found. But I will say, if I could find a hack to like be hungry and gain weight, I would take it with both hands. I would take it with both hands. Oh no, no, no sweat, Shannon. You're all good. I just wanted to make sure that you knew what we were talking about. Although I wonder, that's interesting. I wonder how cigarettes affected my appetite and all that. It's hard to think about now, so far removed. Look, Fox says, "Are you just curating the life you want, or are you living it?" Just a thought I have sometimes that randomly sprung to mind. Well, that is a great question. I give you a gold star for sure. Um, I think a little bit of both. Obviously, this is not the place that I would like to stay, but I mean, I am living part of the life, right? It's both for sure. In order to get to the place that you want to be, You kind of have to just start being. That's a whole topic video we could do right there. Be the change you want, like, you know what I mean? Be the person you imagine yourself being, right? Do the things that you imagine yourself doing, that kind of thing. I think that's a whole show all in itself. Believing in yourself, self-worth, aspirations and dreams, all of that tied up. I think that's really nice. But that being said, there's definitely more curating to be done, Flick, for me personally. But I've never been in a better place. Let's say that. I appreciate that, Dale. I really do. I really do. I really do. Um, but I promise when it's time, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna come running because I missed it. You know, it's almost been a month since I've done tincture. This thing has been healing forever. It's healing so weird. It's like healing from the bottom up, and so like instead of just like kind of, and then I think that's kind of how the other one healed. It's kind of like going like sucking in from the bottom up. I don't know. It's weird. So it's like way less deep than it was, but there's still an opening at the top. Kathy Kewen, what is going on? About a year ago, thank you so much, Kathy. When I was at the 3 month mark, I found myself laying in an ice bath, screaming at the heavens. Do you see what I'm willing to do? You think you could throw me a bone, please? That is hilarious. That's some good imagery. Did the said bone come? You left me on a cliffhanger there. Debbie P, I see you. Sent another email. Definitely, I have got your back. I will get in there and read it, and then if you need me, I'm here. I'll reach out and give you a call if I need to. And also, let's get some ones up for anyone out there that needs them. But let's also get some ones up for Debbie P and all the stuff that she needs to do today that kind of sucks. You know, anyone out there that has to do a bunch of stuff that's not fun today, these ones are for you too. Because oftentimes we have to do things that are a complete drag. Something maybe it's something that we've been doing for an extended period of time and not really getting headway. In fact, just running into obstacles. And yet again, another day we're going to go after it, and that can be a drag. But I have to say, you're strong, and you've got this. Yeah, Shannon, like that is like a means to an end, right? Shannon says I've thought about smoking to lose weight. I know that would be a mistake though, but you're compromising like other areas of your health, right? Like cigarettes can affect your heart, your lungs, um, things that you might end up in a worse position if you were to try to smoke to start losing weight. Imagine you start smoking and you don't really lose all that much weight, right? And now you have compounding problems, right? And I know you're telling me already that you think that's not a good idea, but those are just the thoughts that I had after reading that statement. I always think of the worst case scenario. I don't know if that's a good habit or not, but it's better to be prepared, I guess. Especially, my brain's tricky, dude, and it likes to trick me. It likes to be like, we'll do it like this, but really, really, what we're doing is just compounding problems and adding crutches. I have to be on my toes. Scrolling, scrolling. Borton Fissel, welcome in. Glad to see you. I was about to say welcome home. Welcome home to the boat. Sharon Dixon, hello, hello, welcome in. Antidepressants cause weight gain. I don't know if I'm willing to compromise like that. That's pretty rough. Pharmaceuticals and I don't get along very well. I have a really hard time um, getting behind. I have a really hard time taking any sort of pill. Unless it's like an antibiotic or an Advil, I have a really hard time with it. it's hard to wrap my brain around. Like if I can't believe it in my heart, I probably won't do it. I probably can't do it. I probably will try really hard not to do it. And I don't know why that is. It's just something about me. I don't know if it's just like terminal authenticity or what a phrase, terminal authenticity. I don't know what it is about me, but if I'm not into it, like I'm not going to say that I am. And the pharmaceutical industry bothers me, and the way that they do things, and the advertising, and it's just I feel like they're trying to milk me for money. So it would be really hard for me to take any sort of pills. And there's another thing: the antidepressants scare me. I have a hard time navigating the inside of my head as it is to like insert man-made chemicals to try and adjust that really freaks me out. So I'm not. I don't think that you were suggesting that I take them, but that was a good opportunity for me to share that piece of me with you guys. Pharmaceuticals freak me out. I'm not into it, and that's probably partly because of my childhood and the ADHD and the all of that um, ADHD medication roulette. Roulette. My R's are weird today. Roulette. It's all good. The longer you wait, the better it's got. The better. It's got a lot of different chocolate pod flavors. Sweet. So it's going to age like a fine wine, is what you're telling me, Dale. We like that. We like that. I am so far up in chat. Holy crap. Izzy E. I love it when Izzy's here, I have to say. I hope your sinus infection finally gave up and went home. Reptile heating pad on the back. Wharton, I think you're onto something. Adulting on Mondays should be illegal, says Candy's Life. You know, I didn't do my laundry yesterday, so I'm going to have to break the law, I guess, and do it today. Yeah, let's get some more ones up for CYN. Sinfully Good, Cooking Americana. I don't know them, but I'm down with the ones. I am going to sneeze, I think. I feel it coming. I'm totally going to catch up, I swear. It is home, Spanx. Wow, that's so cool, Wharton. That's super cool. I will not hesitate next time. Kathy Kewen, you're so kind. Not as big of a bone as I would have liked. I still struggle getting my brain chemistry balanced out, but it could be worse. I could still be putting a needle in my arm. That's damn right, Kathy. Which you're not anymore, right? So huge win. You guys know what this is. It's the official participation trophy of the lifeboat. I pictured that in my head, and then the worst case scenario came through when I smashed it into my cup, which exploded, and then the coffee went all over me and my computer. So that's why you guys got the half version of that twirly twirl. I was gonna really go in, but um, my skills in foreshadowing, saved me. Foreshadowing, foresight. There we go, foresight. All these words. Helena, flock of swan boats. Good night. Good evening. Good morning. Good morning. It's probably early morning over there, even though. Charlie looks like he's going to be the new lucky recipient of some legendary tank from Dale Cox. Dude, I can't tell you how how much the anticipation is killing me, dude. I feel like I've gotten away from the topic as well here. Let me shift gears here. So much going on. Cooking with the grandma. What is going on? Good morning. So glad I'm here this morning. Rough night with drunk son and wife fighting. Feeling helpless AF. I know there is nothing I can do except pray. You know, um, yeah, it's a tough sitch. You can pray and you can love them. I know that there's this big conversation about enabling versus not enabling, right? And I don't think that you should enable, right? But um, love is the universal language. So showing love. Obviously, your son knows that you love him, right? He knows it in his bones because he came out of you. But that being said, um, don't be afraid to show him a little extra love, even though he's probably not the most fun to be around right now. If everything was right in his world, he wouldn't be acting like that. I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just saying, he probably doesn't want to live that life, and he probably doesn't want to feel that way or be that way. So there's that. There's that. My heart goes out to you cooking with grandma. 39,000. Oh my lord, Jason P. Thank goodness for insurance. That's dang right, dude. Holy crap. Dodged like a literal bullet with that one. A $39,000 bullet. That's another thing, man. I'm scared to go to the doctor and stuff for stuff like that. It's like I don't know. My life is priceless, right? Like you can't put a price on it, but wow, that's a lot of money, you know? I feel like I missed something. My spidey senses are tingling. Donna Riahi says I would be dead without pharmaceuticals. And I'm grateful for them for stuff like this, but I and I'm not trying to like hate on pharmaceuticals at all. Like they're they serve a purpose, right? I totally understand and agree. I just there's no purpose for them in me. You know what I mean? Um, and maybe there is, and I'm just defensive and in denial, or I don't know. But things seem to be working out just fine, and they freak me out. But no, I totally get that they're there for a reason, and they're really really good for a lot of people. Is Wharton Thistle's wife in here? Oh, I knew I was missing something. Wife has over 3 weeks with no drink. My goodness. This has been a long time coming. Congratulations, Wharton Thistle's wife. Wow. Heck yeah. Keep up the good work. I bet you things are starting to feel and look a little different. 3 weeks in, huh? It's a big deal. I bet you things are starting to feel and look quite a bit different. And I hope that the sky friggin' parts and the sun shines through and the angels sing, and I hope it's like that. I hope the pink cloud just comes sweeps you up and like you can ride that thing into the horizon. That's what I hope. That's what I'm hoping for. Because sometimes it be like that. Sometimes you discover some things that are just so wonderful. They call it the pink cloud. You start just feeling really really good. Ooh, that must mean the cowboy candy's waiting for me at the mail place. So many things to be excited about. Flickbox says, I've got to talk about raising the rent with my tenants. They're paying a ridiculously low amount, so it's a reasonable request. But I hate talking about asking for money. Wish me luck. I will wish you luck. And the way that my place does it is they'll just give me a little flyer on my door and be like, hey, you notice you haven't re-signed your lease, which is up in a few days. If you want to re-sign the lease, it's going to cost you more, and we're going to need you to come in and figure that out by the 30th. Otherwise, we're going to assume you're moving out. That's what it says. Everything, it's all right there. They didn't even have to talk to me. Um, and I don't know what your style is, or what I don't know if that will help or not. But you could go that route. I am happily going to go down there and give them a little bit more money because those aren't the kind of things that I'm super worried about. I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. I'm grateful like I'm not having to learn new nuances at a new place. Like I know what's going on here, and I have a plan to not be here after this 6 months, after the next 6 months, right? So this time next year, I should be in a different place. And that's the plan, right? So having all of that doesn't stress me out at all, knowing that my rent's going to be like, I think it's like $100 more. $25 more. What? Why? What is that for? 25 times 6 is 150. Wow, I'm bad at math. 150. That's 150 bucks over the term of the lease. What the heck? What the heck? I guess it all adds up. They got that, they got the deposit, they got this, they got that, it probably adds up. I love the way that you put words together sometimes, Izzy. Antidepressants are such a trip. The right molecule can keep you alive, and the wrong one can make you want to cancel your life subscription. At least in my case, I'm still here thanks to the right one. I'm grateful for that right one, Izzy. I tell you what, I am grateful for that right one. I grateful that I've got some Izzy in my life. I have to say. Okay, where the heck am I with my topic here? Will versus desire, contrary action, huh? So we've got the willingness, we've got the desire. We're willing to go to lengths. Most likely, we're willing to go to the lengths that we were willing to get high, right? We're willing to go all the way for this recovery thing. Now what? Well, if I were you, I would start with contrary action, especially in moments of weakness, when you're feeling itchy or whatever, when you're feeling urges, desires, to use or to go back and give away your progress. When you're feeling like that, do what you do not normally do, right? When I'm feeling some type of way, usually I go to the bar, right? Well, don't do that. Instead, do something else. Go to the gym. I don't know, go to church. I don't know. But the point is, do something else. Contrary action. Get in the habit of making new habits, right? We're such creatures of habit. We're so ingrained in the ways that we do things and how we react to positive and negative stimulus. We have to rewire certain reactions and processes in our heads when we get off the sauce. Um, and contrary action is a great way to start that process, because you're going to want to do things the way you have been doing them and be a creature of habit. But if you do that, you're going to end up where you were before. So, contrary action, right? Usually I do this, I'm going to do that. And continue to do that, and it will become your new habit, right? And that's really, we talk about contrary action a lot. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this today. We kind of talked about this. How important is this? It should be the most important darn thing. Because I have to say, when I was smoking crack, that was the most important thing, right? I did everything and anything to get my hands on it and get it inside my body, right? So if I'm going to stop doing that, I have to have the same passion, the same desire, the same willingness, um, to get off the stuff and stay off the stuff. Um, you know, you got to be about it. I guess we did talk about this a little bit. I was wondering why this was in my notes. Be about it. Be the person you want to be, right? Live the life that you're visualizing little by little, one step at a time. Obviously, you can't just dive in head first, right? But you can, in little ways, one step at a time, start living that life, being that person, making those decisions. Um, and no one's going to make it happen but you. It's all up to you. Every day that you put it off, if you're like me, you want to put it off every single day. Every single day you make the same decision like it's the first time you made it. Like, I'm not doing that today. You know what I mean? Well, quit doing that. Quit putting it off. Start today. Start right now. Right after this, write some things, write some words in your journal. It doesn't even matter what the words are, just start writing them. I love coffee. I love coffee, and coffee loves me. Shards of words. Fire dance trip by the lake. Oh, I'm jealous. D-Day to kick nicotine. Okay. 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 I'm pretty stoked on that. All of that, Izzy. I'm grateful to be here today with you, crew and captain, gearing up for a fire dance trip by the lake. Friday is D-Day to kick nicotine and I don't know what you're trying to say with that word. By fire. It's okay. I'm going to give up trying to figure out that word. Spanx. Brianna asks, how did you get over the monotony of sobriety? How did you get over the boredom? Well, I didn't. Well, I guess that's not true. Utterly crushed. I utterly crushed monotony and boredom. Um, I'm not really very bored often, and things are a little monotonous, but I break them up enough to where it doesn't feel that way. I don't know how much sobriety you've got, Brianna, but this is a much bigger deal in early sobriety. So maybe that's what's going on. It's very very itchy when you make that transition from like just out there doing everything all the time, whatever's on the table. I want that. When you make the transition from that to like measuring your steps and like making sure you're remembering stuff and making sure you're busting out your toolbox when you're struggling and like it's a very different pace. It's a very different everything, right? So it takes some getting used to. But I have to say, like I live not all the time, but like for example, when I went on my Salt Lake trip, that was a high octane trip. I was constantly doing stuff, constantly moving, constantly like making sure I have enough time to do everything I needed to do. And like not only did we go out to the desert and go camping, but like we danced, we spun fire, we under the stars, like we partied harder than I would have partied sober or not sober because I had energy and I wasn't drinking and you know what I mean? I wasn't depressing my system. So um, I guess in short, a more succinct answer would be little by little, little by little. Do you have hobbies that you're engaging in that make you happy when you get that itch or that urge? If you do get them, what is the contrary action that you take, right? Do you go to the gym? Do you throw frisbees with your friends? Like what exactly is that? I don't want to say placeholder or replacement, but the only way to break a habit is to get a new habit, right? So what are your new habits? What do you spend your time doing? It maybe you don't spend your time doing anything because it says right here, how did I get over the monotony of sobriety? How did I get over the boredom? You got to find things. You got to rewire the way. We could do a whole video on this. I have lots of words for you, Brianna. I would love to help. I guess I'm going to try and be short and succinct. You got to just baby steps, little by little. And if you don't have a hobby, if you don't have something that you do for fun, like strictly for fun, you got to get one. And if it's a little bit physically active, that's even better. When we exercise, our body releases its own like natural endorphins, and that is tied to the reward system of your brain. The reward system of your brain tells you this is good, this is bad, right? When I touch a hot stove and I get that burn reaction, that's the reward system of my brain saying, don't do that again. When I do something that's novel, something for the first time, like watching Saturday morning cartoons with my dad when I was a kid, or like going on a roller coaster for the first time. Although that's a bad example because that scared the crap out of me. Either way, though, doing things for the first time, that novel feeling, that's going to release endorphins in your brain and say, wow, we need to remember this forever. Um, so I would find some hobbies, maybe just one hobby, right? One thing at a time, but get something that's gonna get that drip going on your brainstem, and then it like you're probably experiencing. I forget what the word is, but my dad would know. But a lack of endorphins after drug use. I don't know what the word is, but that's what the word means. You're probably experiencing a broken reward system. So we have to kind of coax it back to life. We kind of have to do CPR on it, but it's not like a right now kind of thing. It's like a little by little kind of nurse it back to health. I hope that helped. I know that was way more of an answer than you bargained for, but that's what I had. Lord Kiss Freak with the gifts. Good morning, my lord. My lord. I'm always stoked when you're here. When you're not here, I wonder, I was like, where's Kiss Freak? Probably working hard is usually the next thought that I have. Helena Flock of Swan Boats. Part 1. I find writing really difficult due to brain fog from a lot of seizures and medications. I'm an artist, so I draw. When I journal instead, I try to make it relevant to my thoughts at the time. Part 2. If I can't think of something to draw, then I draw a mandala or Zentangle. It's become a journaling meditation hybrid on those days. Do you think this is as useful as traditional journaling? I think that it's hard to compare because it's just different. Picture this. So you say you try to keep it relevant to what's going on in your mind and your heart at the time, right? So if you were to go back through your journal and look at a page that you did a while ago and you see what you've drawn there, will you remember? Will you draw conclusions and correlations between the picture? Like, will the picture bring you back to that place? Will you be able to remember what was going on in your head and in your heart that day by looking at the picture later on? That's I think the key. If the answer is yes, then it's great. My only problem with all these alternative methods of journaling is that sometimes it's hard to go back and go through. Like the voice messages, maybe it works differently for other people, but it bothers like my brain to like to the core, to the root. Like when I have to go and re-listen to voice messages because like it's hard to skip and find, and like I have to listen to the whole thing again. It feels like whoever sent me the message is lazy. Like they could have just typed this out, and like they're giving me all the burden. Like I have to like listen to this, and then I have to rewind it and listen to it again, and then I have to rewind it and listen to it again because I'm not. I don't know. I think it's probably just how my brain works. But anyways, that was a tangent. As long as there's like you can remember what was going on in the picture, that's what matters. But even if the answer is no, I mean, it's a placeholder, right? Even if the answer is no, that's better than not doing it at all. I wouldn't stop doing that at all. I definitely would keep doing it. I think the answer is yes, says Helena. Well, that's good. That's good. Oh my gosh. Today's a little heavy. I feel a little heavy. But it's Monday. Monday, folks. We're going to kick its butt. Okay, what do these notes say? We hit it all. We hit it all. We can extrapolate all the live long day, but that is the information, folks. That is the information. You know, Brianna, when it's interesting, when we were out there running and gunning, when we were using and abusing, it wasn't as important to have hobbies and stuff because our hobbies were running and gunning, right? Our hobbies were going out there and getting it. Now we're kind of left with like a blank slate, and it's kind of worse than like an empty plate. It's like an empty plate that like has like old leftovers on it that were like left out too long. You know what I mean? Not only am I devoid of like the things that I need inside, but like it's worse than just not having it. It's like not, the absence of is doing damage, it feels like. So, be patient and gracious with yourself, but there are things that you're into, I promise. Everybody's into something. It might just take some journaling or some thinking, some pondering, maybe some trial and error, right? Go bowling, see how it goes. I don't know. Trying some things out. Do you like nature? Do you like outdoors? Hiking is always cool. I always like nature's dope. If you're like physically active, you could even do trail running or something, like kick the hiking up to another notch. Lucy was really into that back in the day. I could never keep up. Trying to think of something else that's interesting. Music, right? You could pick an instrument and start messing around with it. Drawings. I like to do drawings. Wasn't there a character named Simon on SNL who did drawings? Pretty sure. Magic of Healing Jimena. Ooh, I did not expect to still see you here. Glad I was able to say hi. Me too. Yeah, I was a little late this morning. I was listening to a song this morning, and it occurred to me that the writer of the song's mother had died, and I'm pretty sure that that influenced the lyrics. And then I started to like get really sad, and I teared up a little bit. That was like right before I turned the show on. I remembered that because another song just came on that kind of sounds like that. Losing time. I have not changed the time of TLB. I'm just terrible at being punctual. I try not to admit that I've done wrong sometimes, but you got me. Yeah, I was late. Oh, hell no. What's going on? Let's get some ones up for oh, hell no. Tearing me apart. Carrie On's about to haul her 63-year-old self onto a horse today. First horse lesson. Never too late. Horses are fun. You'll have a great time. Don't be scared. They're really smart. Um, and they're cool. Horses are cool. Although, you know, they're really big and strong too. So poor horse, says Carry On. That's funny. I think it'll be great. You're gonna have a great time. One last time. I know, and I know. Hard to accept forever. My favorite hobby is collecting hobbies, says Izzy E. Heck yeah, teamwork making the dream work, folks. I love to see it. Love to see it. And I know it's hard to accept forever. I don't think the dog downstairs likes my singing. Oh man. You guys see that bug? I don't think the human downstairs likes the dog downstairs. That's really sad. A good plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. George Patton's. Wow. My grandpa's dad served directly under Patton in World War II. I think that's kind of an interesting thing. I just feel like not saying a whole lot right now, I guess. And the song's tearing me up. Maybe I should turn it off. Oh my lord. Do you have you reached out to your family? Oh hell no. No matter what questions I ask, they're probably going to sound dumb, and I apologize for that. I just care, and I want to make sure that if you're floundering, maybe you're not thinking straight. I would get with your family, be with people you love right now. I definitely would not be alone right now if you could help it. That's terrible. Catherine McGinnis, glad to see you. Glad you're here. Yeah, maybe the dog was singing. That reminds me of a beautiful story. Wonderful story. I think I'm going to take a second though. Wharton Fissel says Patton said the side that fights 5 minutes longer wins, and that is the truth. One side's going to give up first, and it probably does not take very long to sweep up. You know what I mean? Maybe about 5 minutes. I love it when a dog joins in the singing. It is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I once watched my buddy Raven playing guitar on. He was busking, so he was on the sidewalk playing guitar, and I'm pretty sure some random person came up and started playing like a block of wood or something. It was something weird and like simple, but it was perfect. And then after the stranger pulled up and started contributing, a dog came up, sat down, and started singing. It was literally the coolest moment I've ever witnessed in my whole life. I was like, wow, Raven, dude, look at you. You're just summoning a band, a literal full band. And you've got a dog as the lead singer. Like, what are you doing? You're a magic man. Yeah, Raven's pretty cool. I hope he's doing well. Staying with your father, I'm glad. You're gonna have to feel the feelings for a little while. Oh hell no. It's just how it's gonna have to go. Things like this are not meant to feel good. And I know that doesn't help, and I'm sorry. If I may be so bold, if I were in your shoes, I would just feel it. I would just feel it. The most important thing I think is that these emotions don't get trapped inside you. The most important thing is that these emotions have a place to run free and then run their natural course. Emotions are like waves, they're like water. They're meant to wash over us, right? We're not meant to bottle them up and keep them, which is what happens when we run from them, which is what happens when we don't process them, right? When we ignore them, when we look away, when we don't face them. Um, so I know none of that's very helpful right now, but feeling these emotions is probably the most productive thing that you can do. Wharton Fissel says, fight 5 minutes longer than your cravings. I like that too. I like that too. Bringing it home, bringing it all the way back. Disney movies for your best friend. Don't watch Fox and the Hound. I tell you what, there are some sad Disney movies. That is hilarious, Flick Fox. Barney, give us a song. He'd wag his tail as if he was revving himself up, and then he'd go all out. That's awesome. Oh, that's so cute. I can only imagine. Yeah, Bambi's a bad one too. I mean, I like both of those movies. I'm pretty sure Fox and the Hound was my favorite. I used to watch it all the time as a kid, Izzy. That was like my favorite one. And I don't know why. I think there's something inside me that is attached to a sadness. I don't know why. If I don't take, if I don't consciously take the wheel, I will subconsciously steer myself into tragedy. You guys ever, do you guys experience that too, or is it just me? Old Yeller's really sad too. The Never Ending Story was not Disney, but it was legendary. It was amazing. One of my favorites. Well, maybe maybe we call it, guys. I don't know. Tell you what, I'm gonna turn the air conditioning on at the very least. I'll be right back. Man, I need some serious stretching. My whole body is like, bro, what the heck? Kathy Qin, oh my lord. Thank you so much. The day my fiance passed in '04, my mind was spiraling and I couldn't think straight. Hours later, I heard his voice clearly say, trust the process, Kat. Hope that helps. Oh, hell no. It helps me to this day. Well, thank you, Kathy. Wow. That's hilarious, Izzy. I'm built like that, Captain. Asked my mom as a young child if we could cry in heaven. She said no, and I replied that I don't want to go there then. Kids, that's hilarious. What a hilarious conversation. Yeah, I'm built like that too, and try to consciously feel those emotions when they come up, but also like understand that I'm not meant to hold on to them. I don't know. I'm like addicted to holding on to them. You know what I mean? It's very weird, very strange. There's some sort of itch that gets scratched inside me by doing so. But it's not productive. It's definitely not productive. Whoa, I almost choked on that. Hill hath no fury. I needed to be reminded today to choose to feel my feelings. It's hard for me and everyone I know. Times are hard right now. Um, I was talking with the guy at the gas station about this. I made a friend down at the gas station. Yeah, times are hard right now. We're all just making the best that we can, you know. And I think that we're definitely going to separate the mice from the meese, you know. I think that when times are hard, we really find out who people are, you know. We really find out who ourselves are, right? I am not a fan of crying either, Shannon. There's something deep, deep inside me that just says don't let people see you cry, but I know that it's necessary. This is a French press. It is not a percolator, but I am thinking about getting an AeroPress. A percolator would be friggin' sweet, I have to say. That would be the first time I ever got a percolator that wasn't for weed. uh, just for the record, he was the only one that got away with calling me cat. I wouldn't dream of it, Kathy. I wouldn't dream of it, I promise. I definitely wasn't dreaming of it. Not even a little bit. Donna Riahi says, I really wish I could cry. Right now, it is all I want to do. You know, I have been in this position, and, you know, you might have to force it to happen. I remember being in places where I really wanted to cry and I couldn't do it, so I went and screamed at the sky. Um, I think there was an element of having to like let go of what people thought. Like it's about me right now. It's not about what they think or whatever. Like I am dying inside, and I need to let these tears explode out of my face. Um, I would do what you can to make it happen, Donna. There's definitely an element of release, an element of letting go. You know, whatever you're holding on to so tight, let it go and let those tears go too. I bet you Izzy E says, just a page from the book of how I gave her so much gray hair. I had the weirdest questions for a kid. I bet you my kid questions could give you a run for your money. I don't remember what they are right now, but my mother and father definitely do. My dad told me once that I woke up in the. This isn't a question. This is just something silly that I did. My dad told me once that I woke up in the middle of the night and like sleepwalked into the living room where they were watching TV. And allegedly, I said to him, "One Mambo dog face to the banana patch." And then I turned around and went back to bed. Apparently, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. But apparently, I said it, according to my dad. Nicola E raises a great point. I couldn't cry for about 3 years due to trauma. It's starting to flow again since May and getting heard in court. I can relate with this as well. Sometimes it's just the tears are locked away, and we just kind of have to oil the hinges little by little so that they can click loose. Chrissy Never Newton says, mine holding on is probably codependency. I want everyone else to feel okay. I will take it on for them. I'm now trying to stop the cycle, and it's uncomfortable. You know, it's probably uncomfortable because it's just not something that you're used to. It's novel, it's new, it's unknown even. It might be a little scary, right? It's not your natural state. But as you get more practice, I think it will become less uncomfortable, become more comfortable. I think the important piece here is that you're realizing what's going on and you're, taking steps to change it, right? You're doing great. Let's kick Monday's butt, Robin. That's right. That's right. Shake the fist. That reminded me of an atmosphere lyric. We teach something about the previous line says something about the kids, and then he says, we teach them how to make a fist, but not to resist. I love that line so much. So much. All right. On that note, hit the like, subscribe, the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a difference. Thanks for spending this morning with me. It's been amazing. We're going to do it again tomorrow, as we always do. The Admiral will be live this evening at 7 p.m. Pacific, unless he calls the audible. He definitely does that. Switches up the D line sometimes, O line, whatever. Izzy E says, I'd love to compare notes, Captain. Gearing up for my kids' future questions. I'd ask about the borders of the universe, the heat death of our planet, no way, and the existence of God at 4. You're super smart, Izzy. You're super smart. You've got quite the powerhouse locked up in your head. That's good. That's really good. Those are good things. It's my pleasure, Body Illusion. Even after all of that, I wish I was better, which is not a bad thing. I'm not beating myself up or anything, but I'm already thinking, man, I could have done better. That's probably not the best sentiment to have, but I'm going to do better tomorrow, and I'm going to do better the day after that. I'm going to do better the day after that. I'm going to try and do better every single friggin' day. So thanks for spending it with me. Thanks for appreciating it. And I tell you what, I'm so grateful that it has a positive impact. Like, that means everything to me. That's all the fuel that I need in my tank. I do like Aesop Rock a lot. Shards of Words. That whole Rhymesayers label is amazing. Okay, hold on. Let's get nerdy. Shards of Words. Do you know who Felt is? It's spelled like this. I'm not going to wait for your answer because I'm so excited now. Felt is MC Slug with Murs. They have a duo album where Slug and Murs got together and they called their group Felt. And it's just one album. It's hard. It's awesome. It's felt. It's deep. Slug's like, he's a thinker. And I don't know if you know Murs, but also, not your regular front of the mill schmuck. So I really dig their stuff together as well. I will do a live about shoulda, woulda, coulda, and maybe we'll do that tomorrow. That's something I am an expert on. Let's write that down. Thank you, Robin. Got my back. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, vote. All right. I hate goodbyes, but I'm doing it. That's one of the reasons I always draw this out. It's like, I have to say goodbye now. How about this? I'll see you guys later. Much love, Captain Calhoun. Out.